Good morning. My name is Cheri, and this is my stamp studio. If you could see around it, it's a giant mess. I've had a busy week, and you do one project and you think I'll clean up, but then you run out of time, and so then you do another project and you think I'll clean up. And I got my online classes. I got a ton of things out for the girls that are in my demonstrator group. So every time I would mail and do packets, it just became a mess. So you're seeing this much, and I'm glad you can see the rest. And I don't foresee any time in the near future that it's going to get cleaned up. So I'm glad that you can just see this much. But I have a really fun card for you today. It actually has ended up being part of a series. I never intended for this to be a series, but let me show you how it's kind of progressed. If you've watched my videos this week, you know that I started with this kind of fun Oktoberfest card with the Cuckoo for You stamp set. It's really fun. It's a little interactive because if you have a cuckoo clock, the cuckoo has to come out, right? So it's a little Oktoberfest card. The stamps in this set are really great for fall. There's stamps in it that will work all year round, but there's ones that work for fall and for Christmas. So we started with that. And the reason I started with this is because the dies when you buy this bundle are the same dies that you would need if you want to get the gingerbread house that's in the holiday catalog. And so this was the card that I posted last until this one. And so it's the fun, super fun little gingerbread house. But you can see that's the cuckoo clock. This is actually the deer, the same Christmas tree. This is the one we're using today. This would be the cuckoo clock door, but on the gingerbread house, the die is the gumdrop. So that was the latest card. So then today I'm going to do the same. I'm going to use the gingerbread house set, but I'm going to mix it up with another set from the annual catalog. This was in our holiday catalog in 2018, and it's called Merry Christmas to All. So I'm just going to pull the Christmas tree out of this set, and I'm going to use the die out of the Cuckoo for You. If you don't have the die, you could cut this out. You could fussy cut the tree. In fact, there's everything out of this could be fussy cut, but why fussy cut when there's dies? And I have already cut my trees out, so you won't even get to see me do that today because I want to do these dies just to save a little bit of time. So this is a totally different looking card. I went kind of pink. Christmas trees are kind of my jam. I love those. I collect vintage ones. So we're going to go with a white card base. So just plain Whisper White. And when you're doing, sometimes if you're doing your Christmas cards and you wait too long and you're like, oh shoot, I don't have very much colored cardstock, go with white. It looks festive, it looks clean and simple. And then we're going to use the Mercury glass acetate, and this is a big piece of it, so you would have to know to order this. Now there has been a lot of discussion online. It does come with a backing on it, and in some of my videos you've seen me pull it off, and other ones I've left it on. It's totally, unless you're heating it, you don't really have to pull it off. So on this, it's on, and you can't see it. If you want to pull it off, by all means do. If you're going to emboss it, so see, you have to kind of figure out which side it's on. Obviously not this side. It's a little bit tricky to figure out what side it's on. So just take your pick tool or a sharp end and see, you just pull it off. So it does make it a little bit more transparent. So that's why on this card I opted to pull it off. On the cards where I've used a little piece of it, there's not enough of it that you can even tell, because this itself is see-through, and people don't even know when they've left it on. Later they're like, oh, I didn't know I should have pulled that off. That tells me you don't really need to leave it on, because you know what? If you didn't know it was there, the person you give it to is not going to know it's there. So this is going to be the backing of our card. See, it's already pretty. Then we are going to use the tree out of the set. So let's stamp 2 of those. There's not a whole lot of stamping to this, which is nice. And I've also designed it so if you'd want to do it for your Christmas cards, it can be done in stages. Like you could do all of your trees, just stamp a whole bunch of trees, and then a few nights over, while you're watching a Hallmark Christmas movie or something, just color them all and then cut them all, like do all of the bits in stages. So if you're making, 35 Christmas cards, do 70 trees, color them all in. So that's all of the stamping. You're gonna need 2 trees for every card. And then these are the colors I went with. Like I said, I was going kind of 50s pink tree retro. And I wanted to use this beautiful Seaside Spray ribbon that's in the holiday catalog, so I chose the Seaside Spray. So it's Flamingo and Seaside Spray. Now the card that I'm going to do now, I did the darks. The card that I've already made, I did the lights, just so you can kind of see the difference. So one's going to be a more subtle card than the other, and it's super quick coloring. It's not blending. So you don't even really need a paper underneath. I'm just going to do one real quick to show you how quick it is. So a smoky slate light for all of the trunks. All of the trunks are the same. And then let's do a blue tree. So this is the light Seaside Spray. So literally just color all of your trees. And so you would do half pinks and half the blues. So it's Flamingo and Seaside. Or if you like, if purple trees are your thing, do all purple trees and have orange ornaments. You know, you can do whatever colors. Or if you're a traditional, do red and green. That's what was on the gingerbread house card. So see, you would just color all those in, and then I have the light on my light, so my light's in light. So this is Flamingo, and just dot those in. So really, it's not blending. The reason I chose blends, one is because I realize I don't have the in color markers yet. Of the new in colors, so I couldn't do this with the markers anyways. But because I'm going to put crystal effects on this, sometimes the Stampin' Write markers can bleed. Okay, and so then you can take, this is the die, and if you're going to do a lot of these, and it's a personal preference. I don't mind fussy cutting, but the dies are easier, and sometimes you can convince your husbands, you know, die cut for you. My husband does not mind die cutting, so he will sit, and then he feels completely allowed to watch all the racing he wants, as long as he just sits there and keeps running my dies through. So a lot of times when I do a swap or something where I need a lot of things, he's happy to do that for me. So if your husband doesn't mind die cutting, then buy the dies and let him cut all your dies for your Christmas cards out, because in theory half of those people are his, right? So that was the light, and here's the darks. And you could even do a mishmash if you wanted, or you could put more than 2 trees, or if, you know, if it starts to be like December 10th and you don't have all your cards done, just give them 1 tree. You mix it up. So then the other die cutting stuff that we need, pull this over here. Since I have my trees, I'm not going to cut those for you. If you want to see how I cut the trees, just go back and watch one of the other videos. This is the die out of the Merry Christmas to All bundle. Well, it's not a bundle anymore. It was a bundle last year. You get a bundle the first time a bundle's in the catalog, you get the discount. Once it makes it past that, you don't get a discount anymore. So just roll this through. I think I did it twice. I am going to do another version of this card with the holly berry and in some other colors. So you'll get to see that, and I'm going to use one of the other. Now I'm going to leave this here, and I'll tell you why. It's because I don't want to lose the dot to my eye, and it just gives it one more pass. Then I'm going to use the holiday nesting. Not the holiday. The layering, the stitched, nested. I can't never remember what these are. They're in the holiday, the annual catalog as well. Well, I may have to take this out because I didn't lay my paper. I will take it out. And my eye is not in there. I lose those little suckers. There it is. See the dot to your eye? It's pretty much stuck to there because I have a really old plate on my bottom. So this is the stitched nested labels, I think. They're in the Bird Ballad suite. So with this, I just want to use it for a hanging label. So I'm going to layer it. I don't need the top point. So layer it so this top right here is, so you're going to cut that little top triangle off. And this is one of the new dies from Stampin' Up. It just takes 1 pass through. So don't use your, every pass through of your die cut machine puts more cuts into your plates. And so if you go back and forth, you don't need to, because look, it's cut. It's already cut. So don't cut your plates up more than you need to. That's all the die cutting that we need. Now we just need to assemble this puppy. So we're going to pop this out. And then the set comes, the Merry Christmas to All has stamps in the dies. So I'm going to get my Seaside Spray. This is another reason this card would be good to be done in stages, because there's some drying steps, and it's kind of like, what step should I do next? So if you're doing them all in a bunch, then you could just do all the drying steps and let them dry and then go back later. And so there's our Mary. And you just want that down towards the bottom, and it's in the Seaside Spray. And so because I wanted to do this all so you could all see it, this is the order I did it in. It's probably not the order that I would do it in if I was making them. So I am going to go ahead and stick my tag on here, and see, I want it to look kind of like a banner. So I'm just going to adhere this here. And then you're going to take some ribbon, and you need it a little bit longer than your panel, because we're not going to waste our beautiful ribbon by wrapping it all around the back and wasting it on the back where nobody ever is going to see it. So you have it a little bit longer than you need. We don't want a giant bow because we don't want our bow to overwhelm the pretty paper and everything else that's going on. So just tie a little bow. I might not have, this isn't enough ribbon. I need a little bit more. This is why I have a jar of ribbon sizes. You need to have enough to have a bow. There we go. So about this much. And so see, once you have a bow like that, then lay it on and make sure you have enough to go around both sides of your card. And we do. And so then pull it tight. So then take this. You're going to add just a strip of adhesive across the top. Try to get it so you don't have too much. Just so you can lay this on here and have it be nice and flat. So we need to have enough on both sides to wrap around. So like right there. And then just let that adhesive grab it. Same here. And then flip your card over. And then you're gonna, you can put more adhesive here. And you want all of whatever you had left on this side to be stuck on adhesive. And normally, like on my first card, I just had a little tad there because that's how much ribbon I like to waste on the back of my cards. Then you're going to take, this is a little way to use the Mercury Acetate. I'm going to get the ends of my ribbon to make sure that those don't come up. Then behind my banner, I'm going to add 2 more dimensionals. And then, whoops, this acetate, you can see where there's like big globs of silver. So pick 2 of those that are kind of spread out. So there's one here and maybe like one right here. And then that way your dimensionals aren't going to show. And then that's plenty of adhesive for your acetate to stay raised up. You can glue it direct to your card, but you lose a little bit of the pretty Mercury effect if you can't see behind it. This way it gives it the raised up. You can just see behind it. It gives it a nice little 3D effect. So see, this is, if you were doing these, this would be another night where you could just adhere all these together. Another Hallmark movie on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon. Have your girlfriends over. You all make your Christmas cards together, except the ones you're going to give them, because when you do it all with your girlfriends, then, oh, you can't give them the ones they all decide to make. So see, it's already pretty. Now let's work on our little embellishments. Here's my trees. So we'll do those first. So this would be another stage of your thing. Do all your trees at once. I'm going to use 2 separate little fun things on them. First, I'm going to use the Snowfall Accents. Give it a good shake with the lid on. We discovered that at my camp. Do not shake this with the lid off, otherwise everybody has a little bit of snow on them. And it is very particular. So tilt it over here, not on top of your design, because the first little tilt and it spills. And then don't squeeze it, just drag it. And we're just going to drag a tiny bit. You don't want too much, because when it puffs, if you have too much, it's going to cover up your design. And then again, because I've tilted it up, when I first go down, I'm going to do it on my scrap paper. And again, I'm just going over, just dragging it kind of over the little snow lines. Just like that. Let's stick my lid back on. Then you're going to heat this with your heat tool. There are a couple of secrets to it. Let me get all my stuff out of the way. I have found, like, if you have time, like if you were doing all of these, put all of the puff paint on, because if it actually sits a minute, I think it puffs better. I don't have a minute. I'm not going to make you sit here and wait for it a minute, and there's really not another step I can do until I've done this. But if you were doing them, do them all, and then go back and heat the ones at the beginning, because they do heat a little bit better. So grab, take your pick tool or your paper piercing tool, and just hold the one down. I'm going to aim not the one, and then just heat straight over one section at a time, and then you can see that puff. And you don't do too long, because if you do too long, you can burn it, and then you'll have some nice yellow snow, and it'll look like the birds were in your tree, because it can burn, and you don't want it to burn. So that's all that we need of those. Now we're going to stick those on. Once they sit here, again, if you were doing this at home, once they sit, this goes a little hard. I'm going to do these opposite. On my other one, I have my blue tree here, so I'm going to do my pink, just so, you know, when I do it a second time, I like to give you a different look. So then you can go over to my website and you can kind of see which look you like, if you like the pink here, if you like the seaside here, and you can also see if you like the dark ones or the light ones, because this is the dark blends and my other one's the light blends, and I'll show you that when I'm finished. So I would rather put the adhesive on the back of these, but since mine's not all the way cool yet, and I don't want them even, so let's go a little high on this one. It's too high because of, see, this is why it's better to have the adhesive on the back of your tree instead of where I'm trying to aim now where I put the adhesive. Well, they're just going to have to be a little even on this card. I'd rather have them a little offset. Okay, now we're going to take our Christmas, and where did I lost my eye. I would have to go back to watch the video. Oh no, I left it on the tray. And I don't, here it is. Just pop this out. It comes out really easy. I like to leave that in there until I'm ready. Again, that's another job that your husband can have. Let him cut all the Christmases, especially the ones that are going to his relatives. If he balks, then just tell him his relatives are not getting the beautiful cards. They're just getting one that are super simple stamped. And you just need a tiny bit of adhesive on this, because we're going to add this shimmery crystal effects, and that's also going to, where it overruns on it, it's going to act as an adhesive. So I want it to go off a little bit of there. Let me go back and get my eye. We're here stuck on my plate. That is one good thing about when your plates get pretty, and a secret to this is to get something that's a little sticky on the end of your tip. I'm just going to use this snow and let it be my sticky, because it does dry sticky. And then we have the eye back on there. Okay, now we're going to take, there's another step that I'm going to do on this. On my other one, I do have the crystal effects on there. On this one, I don't know that I'm going to do that on my trees. So you just take this. This is our shimmery crystal effects. And you're literally just going to make your Christmas then be a 3D. You can do this. I was thinking I had a video. I don't think I ever posted it, because I tried to find it where I made a little baby tag, and I did it with the fine tip glue pen the same way. And I did those tags, and I made the tags and then I added them. But that was back when we had the adhesive sheets, and so there was a way to stick these on after they dried, because I'd made stickers out of them. So because it's harder to get some of these fine words on here, this is, I think this way actually is better now, because this is going to help hold this to my card. So literally just tracing this on here. Again, this is another job that if you have older kids or your husband, they can help you with. I've toyed with the idea of doing this in flamingo, the words, or even coloring it with my light blend. But then when it was said and done, I kind of liked the simplicity of it all, just the white. And when it dries, it does give it a 3D effect. Now on my other card, I have made the trees also be shiny. Wasn't a huge fan, but I did like them glittered. So I think that I can reach my fine tip glue. So this time, instead of making it be, making it be shiny, I'm just going to make it be glittery. So I'm going to take my fine tip glue and add it here. And then it won't be quite as shiny because I don't have to put as much. The Crystal Effects comes out kind of a lot. This you can just put a tiny bit and drag it, and it'll hold the glitter on without being as shiny. So then you're going to take the ice glitter, which is in the holiday catalog. Super pretty, super vintage, super retro chunky. And just take it and sprinkle it on. Now, if you were doing, again, this in stages and not doing it like I am filming, or if you're doing it in class where you have to do it in this order, you could maybe make all of your little medallions like this, but you do have to add it over here. And whatever you're not using comes off. So, and how many of us have glitter that we purchased 10 years ago and it's still in our closet? So if you use a little bit extra because it's stuck in some places underneath your stuff, just get over it. The glitter is like $5, and this is really easier. And it makes your card beautiful, and it makes it all retro. I just love the thick glass. I mean, this is not real glass glitter, but the look of the glass glitter. And you'll see that most of, well, now you know I used that for some scrap. Let's see. Let's find some scrap paper. So there you go. So see, all of it that didn't stick came off, so I can still put all that back, and most of it. Isn't that pretty? So pretty, and not hard. I mean, there's some steps involved. Here's the light version. So you can see the trees. There's not a huge amount of difference. As these dried, they got lighter than I intended. Now the pink on this is a little bit pinker than I intended, so I think, you know, sometimes you have to play around with it before you make all 35 of your Christmas cards. Do a couple and decide what you love, because you don't want to get 35 in and then be like, oh, this is how I wish I had done it, because now that I'm looking at them, I think this is what I would do. I would do this blue tree and this pink tree, because I like the lighter pink, that flamingo, but the Seaside Light, as it dries, it looks a little tad gray to me. And this one keeps more of the color of the ribbon. So now that I've got two here, I can mix and match, and then I know exactly what I like. And probably, I think that I might, you could always try, it would be one more step, but it might be pretty to brush the light flamingo over the Christmas. Before you do it, it would be a big step, because the flamingo paper is going to be bright, and that's too bright for this card. But you could play with maybe even just brushing it over some of it, because the Mercury glass kind of has that. It might be too busy. I do like the simplicity of it. So there you go. So I do have a couple of more things. I have minor surgery next week, so I'm trying to get a few things done this weekend before, so I can post them. Because I won't feel like talking. It's a throat surgery next week, so I'm trying to get some stuff done. If I don't get it done, then I may be MIA for a couple of days. But I do have. I'm gonna try a red and green retro version with the holly with this, and then I have a super fun mummy card, mummy treat thing coming up. And I am going to make that because it's got some desserts that I need to get for our Colts party for tomorrow. So everybody have a great weekend. Bye.